Babes, I have such good news. I got a fucking letter from the government. You know what it says on the letter? Mr. Hamill. Which means that I have officially been taken into the system as male. There is no going back. The fuckers at local city hall have officially registered me as a man. It doesn't matter anymore what I do. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. I can wear whatever the fuck I want. I'm gonna have a male passport soon. Woo! Now we kind of skipped over this last video, but hi, my name is Valentine. I'm a very sensitive gay little man, and also I'm trans, which means I've been in transition to become a man. Mind you, not a very manly man, which is where most people get confused, but a man nonetheless. And it's interesting to talk about it because to me it's such a natural thing. I'm just like, I've seen gay men, I've lived with gay men, I am a gay man. To me it's normal to be like this, but to other people it's like, wow, you're such a gender rebel. Because of my feminine outlook. Even though I'm male identifying, I'm like, I guess, I don't know how else to be. And at the same time, yes, it is very much a conscious decision. And the world does very much make you aware of what you are. Like, I'm not gonna say that it's easier to be a feminine man when you're trans. Because you just get overlooked more. And being a feminine man in nowadays society is just not the easiest, period. But what I do really enjoy is that I get to have a conversation with other feminine men who have most of their life tried to not be feminine and really tried to hold themselves back. Whereas I have lived my childhood in a pretty girly way, and I can just help these guys become a better, more in touch feminine version of themselves by kind of leading by example. I'm not gonna lie, like, there's a lot of gay dudes that I know who think it's kind of cool that I am this way, which, warms my heart. And at the same time, I don't think that the fact that I like dressing this way takes away from my masculinity. And I am very much still a masculine person. Does that mean I don't get to enjoy pink? No. Okay, this is kind of a tangent, but feminine men have always been a really important thing to me. Not just like individuals, but like the concept of a man being able to be feminine. And it's like this. Since we see masculinity as this really big, chunky, concrete thing of like strength and, I don't know, power, whatever you want to ascribe stuff to the male sex, it's all fake anyway, by the way. And then we have femininity, which is like the more careful stuff, but perhaps also wearing dresses. Because we regard, especially in our very binary society, femininity as a, I guess, weaker or softer thing, men are probably chastised the most for expressing femininity. And of course, this completely depends on the cultural background. This completely depends on how you're doing it, what you're doing, and how you define masculinity and femininity. But often, it's just a fact that a man in a dress is seen as a threat because, as a patriarchal society, people get raised to be insecure about what the definition of femininity and masculinity is. We get raised with the idea of like, masculinity is, I guess, for a lot of men, what they're supposed to strive for. And that's what excites me about getting a new passport, is like, it feels for me like they can't stop me now, you know? Like, I'm officially acknowledged by the law and specialists as a man. I can still wear a dress, but I am a man, and I will always be, and I have always been. And there are a lot of men in my life who want to express more femininity and who find it scary because of their surroundings, because of society, because of the pressure, because of how other men try to project their expectations on them. Meanwhile, I'm over here in my pink gamer chair and my pink microphone, because I'm like, let's fucking go, dudes. Let's wear more dresses today and tomorrow. Fucking buy yourself some nice lingerie while you're at it. Do it. It's not even a sexual thing at this point. I just think that we actually do need feminine men. Like, I know I know it's like really memeable that people think that men are getting soft. I'm like, men are not soft enough, actually. Men could do with some softening, especially in this fucking climate where everyone is trying to Andrew Tate their way through life. No, man. I'm sorry. Just get yourself something nice. Get yourself a nice shampoo that smells good. Some face wash too. Maybe some good hair products. I don't know. It's all so fake anyway. Like, what the fuck defines femininity and masculinity? All I know is that I love a guy who smells good, takes good care of themselves, and has comfort with his own sexuality, gender, and community. And if that makes him gay and feminine, give him my number, honestly. Like, fucking. And in that sense, I approach my masculinity from a feminist point of view, is that men need the opportunity to express themselves in ways that are deemed femininely as well. In that sense, I am always an advocate for men need feminism, but not just for their, for the sake of solidarity with others, but also for the sake of themselves. I can rant about masculinity and femininity for a long time. I think it's also like something that I just really want to say, because we still like to think, even queer people still like to think in such a binary way. We see people online wear like dresses or wear clothes or do funny stuff that might indicate that they are interested in the other gender and assume that they might be trans. But I'm just kind of like over it at this point. I think that if we had Elton John in the 80s, and given Elton John is gay, but if we had Elton John in the 80s, and if we had a bunch of other rock stars wearing like really extra stuff, then let Baby No Money wear a dress, let him cosplay as girls. Actually, yeah, let him be an example for other men that it's completely normal and allowed to cross-dress. If you feel like I'm a little bit more disjointed than last time, welcome. This is how my brain works when I actually don't have a very clear and calm idea of what I want to talk about. I do have a little bit of more structured item in a bit, but generally my ADHD makes it that I will probably have like 10 different ideas that I could say in 100 different ways. I think this video just boils down to me going like men, feminine, men, feminine, men, you know? And no shame to the mask and butch men. Hey, I see you. I appreciate you. I think you're lovely as well. You make great jokes. If you get fruity with it sometimes, that's only speaks to how much confidence you have in your own masculinity. Because I think the people who actually dare to get away from the norm a little bit are the most comfortable with themselves. And I really like people who have become so authentic that gender doesn't even like really apply to them anymore. Like they're just themselves, disregard of what we expect from men or women to be. And in that sense, it's very funny because I'm dating someone who comes from a very, I feel like a place where you have a very traditional male and female role, and he was stuck in a very traditional male role for such a long time that now everything is new when he is allowed to do feminine things. And to me, I'm like, isn't that shit just normal? I didn't grow up with a very strict gender binary, I think. Like, sure, my mom was my mom and my dad was my dad, but they both bought clothes in the male section as well as the female section, you know? As long as it fit them and as long as it looked nice. Damn. That kind of explains, I think, why I'm so into dresses, because I think dresses look really good on me. And at the end of the day, I think it's almost more important to me that I look good than whether I pass or not. I'm sorry. I'm autistic. Probably one of my special interests is fashion. Because now I've talked about feminine men as a whole, but I want to specifically talk about emancipation among trans men, because I have opinions about that. I'm really happy about the era we're in. I think this is an era in which trans men are more visible than ever before. Whether that is in porn or on social media or just in general. But there's still a lot that doesn't get shown. And I think also in general, like, the average person that is a trans mask doesn't really get their representation. Like, for now, we're getting more familiar with trans male people in the entertainment industry. We got a lot of trans masculine funny men on Instagram who are going viral in both bad and good ways, because they get hate comments, but they also make me feel seen. And I'm sure that that's why they keep doing it. I'm sure, like, they post about their funny little lives because they're like, fuck the haters, you know? And in that sense, I wish more trans men felt that kind of confidence. I have, like, I'm not gonna lie, I straight up have here a list that is like Valentine's trans mask agenda, and some of the points are somewhat blown up, perhaps, but I kind of want the trans masculine community to get more grip on how strong we actually are, and to feel more confidence in presenting as themselves without having to feel, I don't know, some kind of way about how they're not gonna fit in. Because that's what breaks my heart the most when I hear other insecure trans men or trans masks, is that they feel like they will have no place in life. That they were raised in such a way, surrounded by so many gender binary norms, that they feel like no one will make room for them. And that's not true. That's not fucking true. You just have to find the people. And that's hard, I know. But even if I, a fucking pervert little cross-dresser trans man with bunny ears and a dress on, can find, you know, someone to love them and can have friends, then baby, you can too. And it's not easy, and you have to be willing to go look for it, but it's out there. Like, I know the world is kind of shit right now, especially in legislation land. We're getting fucked over as trans people all the time. But there's also the smaller wins, which is we have never been this visible ever before. And there have never been as many older women that have smiled at me as soon as they noticed that I was trans. And, you know, sure, I don't want to get clocked all the time. Being trans for me is like a constant battle between I want to be acknowledged, I want to be seen, versus I want to just be left alone. But there are people out there who are willing to be your friend, even if you don't have a penis and are still a man. I promise you. I promise you. Okay, second to last 2 points on the list are just kind of health issues that I had noticed within myself and started seeing in other men. I don't know how hard I'm projecting. Perhaps I am projecting a little, but I want to wish for every trans man that he learns how to align his spine correctly and sit upright and face the world with a bright, young look in his eyes and titties forward, even though, you know, most of the time men don't really like the fact that they have titties. But I'm telling you, bro, this, you know what doing this your entire life does? It shortens the tendons in your shoulders and gives you chronic pain. Or at least that's what happened to me. So I wish for everyone, every man, a happy, straight back aligning. And I want to encourage every T-boy ever to eat a healthy, nutritious diet full of fuck. I want to say egg whites, but that's protein! Because that's good for the gains. And like, I don't know exactly like which teenage T-boy needs to hear this, but the cup noodle is not gonna help you build the muscle. If you work out and you hope for that like nice muscle build, you gotta eat your yogurt, you gotta eat your eggs, you gotta eat a variety of vegetables as well. But still, like, adding some extra little yogurt and other protein stuff in there doesn't hurt. Don't listen to the cis boys on this. They're crazy. I'm sorry to say it, but the way that gym bros weaponize every inch of protein that you can get, don't do that. You can only get 20 grams of protein in you at the time, every time anyway. More than that, you just flush it down the drain again. So you can eat only chicken tendies all you want. It's not gonna work. Please have a healthy, nutritious diet, sleep good, and work out to a realistic extent of your own body. And then last point but not least, all trans people unite, and then I don't mean just trans men, I just also mean non-binary people and trans femme people. And then we do world domination. Simple as that. For real, I wish there to be solidarity amongst all trans people, you know. I have a lot of trans feminine friends and a lot of trans masculine friends, and I have non-binary friends, and I love them all dearly. And I don't necessarily think just because our experiences are different and our lives are different that we can't come to each other's aid and have solidarity for each other. In fact, right now, in this time of history, it's probably more important than ever that we extend a hand to someone with different experiences than ourselves. And that doesn't even have to necessarily be within the trans circles. That can also just be within refugees. That can also be within black communities. That can also be within, you know, like, let your solidarity be cross-sectional. Let your solidarity be informed not just by one aspect of your life, but also the aspects of other people's lives, you know. This was this went all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to edit this just to make it make sense for myself. But until then, I hope you guys had a great time again. Looking forward to doing this every week. See you, babes. Mwah!
It took me 8 to 10 years to know who I am, but why did it have to be an effeminate man? Fuck! Of all the things to come and all the things to be, my ass turned out to be a bisexual dweeb. Fuck! To top it all off, I'm real sensitive too. Men call me boy, women call me boo. Fuck! I'm a sweaty little man, a horny little freak, a shitty little mustache. I'm cringe, but I'm free. Fuck! Almost 30 years, but like playing pretend. But now you'll have to deal with this effeminate man. Fuck! Effeminate man!